Hi students, today I am going to explain the concept of clipping. So the clipping is the major concept in the two-dimensional and the three-dimensional concept. So we use clipping to take the transactions on the objects. So now we are going to discuss what is a clipping and what are the different types of the clipping. So the clipping is a type of transformation used in computer graphics to remove lines, objects and segments of lines that are outside the computer screen or viewing pan. So the clipping is the process to remove the lines or objects or segments. So some portion of the line which is an inside and some portion of the line is outside the window, then we are going to clip the outside the portion of the window. So now here some of the terminology like the pan is nothing but the viewing location, so which inside the coordinates of the x and y. And similarly the two-dimensional plane, that is nothing but the two-dimensional plane in the sense, so the object which is located the inside of the x coordinate and the y coordinates. Now there are different types of applications of the clipping, that means where we can use the clipping and how the clipping is taken place on the object. So to take the modifications and repositioning of the object that we have to observe in the transformation techniques, so that I explained in the previous videos. Now we are going to take the applications of clipping. So we can use the clipping for drawing operations. So the major drawing operations are taken based on the some of the standards of the x and y coordinate. So if it is an exceed more than the given coordinates, then we are going to remove or clip that particular portion which is an outside. So it is the second one is it is used for separating the important part of the image. Now whatever we required a portion of the image, so that portion of the image is going to be clipped with the help of this particular clipping process. So the third one is which is also implementing the concept of the three-dimensional object. So we also perform some of the operations on that point of the object, so either the line or the polygon, and we can take the operations like the delete, copy, insert and moving some of the identifications on that particular object. We are separating the portion from that particular object and we are going to take the clipping process. So clipping helps to describe the visible and even invisible part of the 3D objects also. Now coming to the clipping, so there are different types of clippings are there. Now we go through that different types of clipping. So first one is the line clipping, and second one is the point clipping, and third one is the text clipping, and fourth one is the exterior clipping, and fifth one is the curve clipping, and the last one is the polygon clipping. Now coming to this line clipping, so the line clipping in the sense a line which is placed on that particular window or the viewing pan, so our two-dimensional plane. So we can identify whether that object is nothing but here is the line. Suppose we take the object in the form of the line, so that line may be drawn on the x coordinate and the y coordinate within the range. So the line can be the inside and line can be the outside, and which part we are going to be the clip, that is based on the concept of the clipping. So coming to the lines, there are three different types of the lines are there, so using in the clipping pattern. So the first one is the visible line, and second one is the invisible line, and third one is the clipped line. Now we can observe which part is the portion is located as the visible line, in the sense the line which are completely the inside the portion of the object, the portion of the window, the portion of the viewing pan, the portion of the 2D plane. So that lines are nothing but the visible lines. The visible line which are located in the inside the window. And coming to the invisible lines are nothing but those lines which are completely the outside the window. The lines which are completely outside the window, which are called the invisible line. And coming to the clipped line, this is the clipped line. The clipped lines are the line, the some portion is indicates to the inside and some portion is indicates to the outside. So now here we can find in this diagram, so we can find the three lines here, the first line A and B. So the A portion, A to B, so during this portion, some portion is located and outside, some portion is located inside. So these lines are the clipped line. That means the clipping is required. The clipping is required for clip that particular portion which is an outside the window. Now what we do here, this particular A to B line and P to Q or C to D line we can observe. So first we need to find some intersection point between A and B. So A and B are the vertices, the AB is an edge. So this particular edge is some portion is located the inside. So the coordinate B is completely the inside, the coordinate A is completely the outside. So at this point we need to find some of the intersection point, and based on that intersection point, so we have to set it some of the location that can be removed. So here A to the intersection point is suppose the A1. So A to A1, the A to A1 is one line, and A line A1 and B is the another line. So the A to A1 line is the portion which is an outside, so that we are going to be clipped, and A1 and B which is completely the inside, that we are not clipping is not taken because it is an visible line. So clipping is not possible. When the clipping is not possible, if the lines, those who are invisible, then only those lines are clipped. So here A1 and B is completely the inside inside that particular window, so there is no need to clip. And coming to the second line, here you can observe in this diagram the P and Q, the intersection point. Now we can find the intersection point. So that is nothing but the P1. So the P1, P to P1 is the one line which is an completely inside, and the P1 to Q is a line which is an outside the window. So now we have to observe in this particular notation, this portion is an completely inside and the remaining portion is completely the outside. So that means here P to P1 is completely inside, no need to clip, and whatever the portion which is an outside, that is an P1 and Q, so that portion is going to be clipped. And similarly you have to take the third line, that is a C and D. So in this particular line, so again we can find some portion is indicates the inside, some portion is located in the outside. So now we find the intersection point, that is the C1. So the C and C1 is an completely inside, so the inside is nothing but no need to clip, and whatever the portion of that particular line which is an outside, so that is the C1 and D, so that portion is going to be clipped. So this is the clipped line. So the lines categories are the three lines, one is the visible line, and second one is the invisible line, and third one is the clipped line. So what the visible line is nothing but the line which are completely the inside the pan, inside the window, or inside the 2D plane. So whatever the portion which is going to be inside, those lines are the visible line. So the invisible lines are nothing but, so invisible lines are nothing but, here you can observe the lines which are completely the outside of the window. So that is an invisible line. The clipped line is nothing but, so the some portion indicates to the inside and some portion indicates to the outside. So those lines are the clipped line. So whenever we find the clipped line, we just find the intersection point and we can continue this particular portion which is an outside is going to be clipping. So this is the concept of the clipping. In the next videos we are going to take a clipping algorithm, that is a popular algorithm is the Cohen-Sutherland clipping algorithm we are going to be discuss.